Have you ever felt your faith wavering during tough times? Maybe you've faced moments where everything seemed to collapse, and the comfort you once found in your faith seemed distant. These moments are deeply personal, and the emotions tied to them are raw and complex. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, a financial crisis, or an unexpected diagnosis, life's hardships have a way of shaking even the strongest of faiths. It's human to question, to feel uncertain, and to wonder why life sometimes feels so overwhelming. Faith, though often described as unwavering belief, is something that can be tested over and over again. When life goes smoothly, faith feels easy. It's a warm, comforting embrace. But when tragedy strikes or things start to fall apart, that's when we truly learn about the depth and resilience of our faith. If you've found yourself struggling lately, wrestling with doubts, or simply searching for a way to strengthen your connection to something greater than yourself, this video is for you. Life can feel like a series of unpredictable storms. One minute, everything seems to be going well, and the next, we're hit by something that knocks us completely off course. It could be a job loss, a breakup, a diagnosis, or the sudden passing of a loved one. These are the moments when faith should anchor us, but sometimes it feels like that anchor is slipping. In moments like these, faith can start to feel distant, and we may even begin to question the very foundation of our beliefs. You're not alone in this. Many people face similar struggles, and it's natural to ask questions when life throws curveballs. Why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? Where is God in all of this? These questions are normal, and the doubts they bring are a part of the human experience. Faith isn't the absence of doubt. It's the persistence of belief despite it. Faith is not a static state of being. It's something that we must actively nurture and strengthen, especially during life's hardest moments. But how do we do that? How do we hold on to faith when everything around us feels like it's falling apart? Let's start with the most fundamental and perhaps most misunderstood practice, prayer. Prayer is often perceived as merely asking for help, but it's so much more than that. It's a dialogue, an intimate connection with the divine. In moments of crisis, prayer becomes not just a request but a conversation, a way to pour out our fears, frustrations, and hopes. It allows us to release the weight of trying to control every outcome. Prayer is an act of surrender, a way of saying, I don't have all the answers, but I trust that you do. It's in these moments of vulnerability that we often find a peace that surpasses understanding. Take a moment to think about it. When was the last time you truly opened your heart in prayer, not just asking for a solution, but simply sharing your heart? Your pain, your confusion, your hopes? Sometimes, just taking that time to sit quietly, focus your mind, and communicate your deepest thoughts can provide clarity. Even if the situation doesn't immediately change, your perception often will. Prayer doesn't always alter the external circumstances, but it changes something within us. It gives us strength, clarity, and sometimes it simply reminds us that we are not alone. But faith isn't meant to be a solo journey. This is one of the most important truths we need to hold on to. Faith flourishes when it's nurtured in community. Too often, we isolate ourselves in times of struggle. We feel like we're the only ones going through hardship, or we fear judgment if we admit that our faith is faltering. But that isolation can be dangerous. It's in these moments when we are most vulnerable that we need the support of others the most. Surrounding yourself with people who share your faith can be one of the most grounding experiences during difficult times. Whether it's attending a religious service, joining a small group, or simply reaching out to a trusted friend, being around others who can remind you of your values and offer encouragement is vital. We're not meant to go through life's challenges alone, and the people we surround ourselves with can often act as vessels of faith when we struggle to find it within ourselves. Think about it. Have you ever experienced a time when someone else's faith lifted you up when you couldn't find the strength to do it on your own? Maybe it was a family member, a friend, or even a stranger who shared a word of encouragement at just the right moment. These interactions are not coincidences. They are often the very means by which we are reminded of the power of community. When we surround ourselves with others who uplift us, we tap into a well of strength that extends beyond ourselves. One of the key aspects of faith is reflection. In times of hardship, it's easy to get caught up in the present and lose sight of the bigger picture. But faith invites us to step back and reflect on the journey we've been on. How many times in the past have you faced difficult circumstances and come out stronger on the other side? Even if the situation didn't resolve the way you hoped, there's a chance that your faith carried you through in ways you didn't recognize at the time. Reflection allows us to see the ways in which God or the universe or fate, whatever you believe in, has been at work in our lives. It's a reminder that while life's storms may be unpredictable, they are not without purpose. Every challenge we face is an opportunity for growth, and while it may not feel like it in the moment, these struggles can deepen our faith in ways we can't yet imagine. I want to share with you a powerful story that illustrates this beautifully. There was a woman named Anna. She had always been strong in her faith, attending church regularly and relying on God for guidance. Her faith was steady, and she found comfort in knowing that she was on the right path. But then, seemingly out of nowhere, her world came crashing down. Within the span of a year, Anna lost her job, her marriage fell apart, and she was diagnosed with a serious illness. It was as if every pillar that had held her life together had crumbled at once. Anna felt like she was drowning, and her faith, once her source of strength, felt like it had disappeared. She didn't understand why these things were happening to her, and she began to question whether her faith was worth holding on to. She felt abandoned, lost, and completely overwhelmed. But instead of giving up, Anna made a decision. She chose to lean into her faith even harder. She prayed every day, not always with the hope that her situation would change, but simply for the strength to endure it. She surrounded herself with people who supported her, who reminded her of the hope and peace her faith had once given her. And she reflected deeply on the times in her life when she had felt lost before, realizing that those were the very moments that had brought her closer to God. Over time, Anna's circumstances didn't change immediately, but her perspective did. She found strength in knowing that even in her struggles, she wasn't alone. Anna's story is a powerful testament to the fact that faith, even when it feels distant, can be our greatest source of resilience. It doesn't mean that life will be free of challenges, but it means that you have something to hold on to when the storms come. And when we actively nurture our faith through prayer, community, and reflection, it becomes a solid foundation that can withstand even the toughest trials. As we draw this to a close, I want to leave you with this: faith is a journey, not a destination. It's something we must continually work at, especially during life's hardest moments. Doubts will come, questions will arise, but these are not signs of weakness. They are invitations to dig deeper, to lean in harder, and to trust more fully. So, what can you do today to strengthen your faith? Perhaps it's taking 5 minutes to sit in silence and pray, pouring out your heart without expecting immediate answers. Maybe it's reaching out to a friend or mentor who can walk alongside you in this season. Or perhaps it's reflecting on past struggles and recognizing the ways in which faith has carried you through before. In summary, we all face moments in life that test our faith. But these are the moments that offer us the greatest opportunity for growth. By turning to prayer, relying on our community, and reflecting on past experiences, we can strengthen our faith and find peace, even in the most difficult circumstances. I'd love to hear your stories. Have you ever felt your faith tested? And if so, how did you find strength? Let me know in the comments, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on faith and personal growth. Faith can guide us through the darkest of times, but we must be willing to nurture it, especially when life feels overwhelming.